Now scroll up and
Ready?
hello and welcome to WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball here from Tampa, Florida. We apologize for a bit of a delay. It was not our problem. It was USF's Wi-Fi issue, but we are streaming off of a mobile cell phone hotspot, and we are ready to roll. Michigan playing Georgia State. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The score is 0-0. Runner on second, 2 outs, and at the plate is Morgan Overitis. Lou Allen is on second base. She just hit a double down the line. The batting order for Michigan: Lexi Blair, Thais Gonzalez, Lou Allen, Morgan Overitis, Taylor Bump, Hannah Carson, Julia Jimenez, Haley Hoganrod, and Natalia Rodriguez will fill you in on what's been going on as we get going. But the 2-2 coming, swinging a ground ball right back up the middle. That one into right center field. Overitis cruising into second, and she will be safe with a double. Allen scores, and it's 1-0 Michigan.
Great hustle there out of the box. She knew as soon as she hit that ball she wanted that double. Great hustle. Able to get that one. That ball in the gap probably should have been a single. Outfielders got to it quick. But like I said, great hustle out of the box. She knew as soon as she hit that ball that she was getting two.
And Overitis with an RBI double puts Michigan up 1-0 over Georgia State. The first 2 outs of this inning were recorded from the 1-2 hitters. A ground out to first unassisted by Blair and a 4-3 put out off the bat of Thais Gonzalez. But now back-to-back doubles have put Michigan on top 1-0. Taylor Bump now stands at the plate, runner on second and 2 outs. She takes strike one. Georgia State starting Emily Buck today in the circle. 0-1 on the way to Bump. Bump swings, grounds this one right to third base. Gloved and thrown across the diamond by Richardson for the out. Michigan gets 1 run, and that will do it. We'll go to the second inning. Michigan 1, Georgia State nothing. And just for a bit of a reintroduction, I'm Alex Drain, joined by Charlie Brigham. We did not really say our names at the start of things, but after a bit of a frantic start, we are finally rolling here in Tampa.
Yeah, a little bit of hectic start to the morning, but great to get going. Great to see some good softball being played here in Tampa this morning.
And the Wolverines wearing their blue uniforms. In the circle for this game is Alex Storako. Quick game recap. In the top of the first, she allowed a walk and was a little wild to start the game. The walk was on a 3-2 pitch. She threw one not even close, way over the head of the catcher, Hannah Carson. And then a wild pitch advanced the runner to second on another ball that just got way away. But then Storako settled in. She recorded 3 strikeouts in a row to end that first inning. And she gets a 1-0 lead as we get started. The defense for Michigan: Hoganrod in center, Lexi Blair in left, Thais Gonzalez in right field, Lou Allen at first, Julia Jimenez starting in her first ever college game at second base, Natalia Rodriguez at short, Taylor Bump at third. Interesting note, Maddie Uden today, Anna Carson behind the plate, and Storako in the circle. Overitis, the designated player.
Yeah, Michigan's defensive lineup looking strong to start. Going to see what they can do in their second inning out here. Like you said, they managed to hold Georgia State to no runs in that first game of the season. Getting those first game jitters out, getting them out early is key.
And it is Daisy Hess standing at the plate. Storako stands at her usual 5'11" in the circle, commanding presence. She delivers the first one right down the pipe to Hess. 4-1. Georgia State playing a back-to-back right now. They played in the earlier game this morning, losing 5-0 to Fresno State.
Yeah, that's where you got to wonder whether that's an advantage or not. You know, Michigan coming, that strike.
Yep, foul back to the screen.
But as I was saying, Michigan had to just sit and wait anxiously as that first game took a little longer than expected, ran a little late. Michigan sitting in the outfield watching. Georgia State, however, they might be warmed up, might be a little tired from that first early game.
Storako spins the ball in the hand, wiping it against the pant leg. Winds up, the 0-2 coming, swing and a miss. Hess chased it upstairs, and Storako now 4 strikeouts in 5 batters faced to begin this game.
Like you said earlier, she started out a little wild, couple pass balls, but has really honed it in and has just been dominant since then.
Yep, this is a Georgia State team that really struggled last season, won just 8 games and beaten in the morning game by Fresno State. This is one where Michigan wants to kind of ease into the season, and at least in the defense doing so far. There is action down in the Michigan bullpen already, and that perhaps is expected in this kind of game, an opportunity to mix players in. It appears to be Chandler Dennis down there, and it is. She's warming up in the Michigan bullpen. 1-0 on the way, swinging a foul back. With Michigan playing Florida and USF tomorrow, you have to think you want to save your best arms for those games tomorrow. And so if Dennis could take some of the load today against two easier teams in Georgia State and Fresno State, that obviously would be preferable. Storako, 0-1 count, winds up and delivers. There's a swing and a foul tip into the glove. This is Bailey Richardson at the plate, third baseman, also a freshman. Four freshmen in the starting lineup for Georgia State. Storako looks over at Lou Allen, 1-2 the count. Already got 4 strikeouts so far on the day, 1 out in the top of the second, 1-0 Michigan. The windup, the pitch, swing and a foul. A little late on that swing, but shooting it right into the screen. They'll do a 1-2 again.
Storako's done a great job so far of getting these Georgia State hitters to chase things out of the zone. That one, she barely got the bat on, able to tip it foul. But like you said, that last strikeout, able to get somebody to chase high. Got that first strike chasing high, looking to do that again.
Storako sets, the 1-2 coming, swinging another foul back. Storako walks back to the back edge of the circle, tosses the ball up in the air once, catches it with her right hand, puts the glove back on the left, checks the wristband, gets ready to go. The windup, the 1-2 off speed, just a little high.
Yeah, Michigan seemed like they wanted that one. That one seemed to clip the corner. No call from the umpire, though. It's going to extend the count to 2-2.
Steve Gold behind home plate today in this one, and a couple familiar names umpiring at first and third. Liz Hammerschmidt at first and Mike Burwell at third. There's a called strike 3 right on the outside edge. 5 strikeouts now for Storako.
That one very similar to that pitch called for ball 2. The one Michigan seemed a little frustrated about, but comes right back. Storako not phased at all, able to get her 6th strikeout.
And Storako looks over at Lou Allen. Allen steps in a little bit on the line. Taylor Bump a couple steps in at third base. And there's a swing and a line drive. That'll get down for the first base hit of the game, landing over the head of Rodriguez. Solid hit ball off the bat of Skylar Mosel on the first pitch, and a base runner aboard with 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring up Sophia Tunnan.
Yeah, Storako seemed to miss her spot right there. Mosel, a junior, an experienced player. You leave any ball over the plate, somebody's going to rock that one.
Hard contact there, and the first hard contact of the game, only the second base runner. The first one was a walk. That'll bring up Tunnan. She swings, hits this one right to Taylor Bump. She gloves it, throws across the diamond. Nice extension from Allen at first, ends the inning. So Storako nets 2 more strikeouts, gives up a hit, 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the second with Michigan up 1-0. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Great job there by Bump, just cleaning that one up, looking to minimize any damage that Georgia State could have done getting that base runner on. Michigan still looking good so far on the defensive end, looking to put at least 1 more up, if not more, here in this second inning.
Yeah, this is and you look at Georgia State, and last season they really struggled in both facets of the game with the team ERA over 5 and team batting average 223. There just wasn't a lot to write home about in an 8-46 season. But as they always say, hope rises anew in the spring, and this is opening day of the Michigan and Georgia State softball season. So it's a new season. What happened last year is in the past, and both these teams ready to go.
Yeah, some teams can, it might have been a rebuilding year, like you said, 8-46. That's a tough year for anybody. Michigan, on the other hand, went 43-13 last year. Overall, 22-1 in the Big Ten. But teams rebuild. Michigan lost some pieces. Georgia State did as well. Both teams can look for some production out of their freshmen and the returners.
Yep, and here for Michigan to begin the bottom of the second, it's going to be Hannah Carson, Julia Jimenez, and Haley Hoganrod. You have to think, much like the possibility that Dennis gets into this game, that if Michigan can get a really solid lead, we could see a lot of pinch hitters get people involved, because Michigan only starting 1 of that heralded freshman class here in this game, but obviously a chance to empty the bench today if they can sees a comfortable lead. Carson gets ready to stand in here, and as we talked about on the first episode of East of the Rockies this year, Carson's somebody that pretty much every Michigan softball fan feels very good about. She played in the regional against James Madison. She swats that one, look out, just over the head of first base coach Bonnie Thole, and hits the netting in front of the Michigan dugout.
Yeah, Carson got all of that one. Might have been a little early, pulled that one into the Michigan bench, like you said, but that's a good quality swing.
Yep, and she's got a lot of power in that bat. We've seen bits of it so far. Her first season as a starter, taking over for Katie Alexander. 0-1 is down and outside, 1-1. Want to thank all of you for joining us. We always know that this is a really high listenership weekend. We will do our best to keep you entertained for all 5 games this weekend. Carson stands in there, ready to get the 1-1 delivery. That one off speed, high and rising, way out of the zone, 2-1. As always, Bonnie Thole at first base and Carol Hutchins at third base. Thole, Brundage, and Hutchins back for another season. Well over 2 decades together now. This Michigan coaching staff, 2-1 on the way. That one's a strike at the knees, 2-2.
Carson laid off that one, looked a little low and outside. You've seen so far, after that first pitch that Carson rocked foul, Emily Buck's kind of been
between the diving Caitlin Ray and Taylor, between first and second, and Carson is aboard with a leadoff single.
Just like I said, first pitch that comes back over the plate after that first foul ball hit. Carson able to put that one in the gap, able to get on early.
And that will now bring up Julia Jimenez, the second baseman, right-handed hitter, the top recruit of Michigan's number 4 national recruiting class. Jimenez goes by the nickname Juju, who is expected to play quite a bit this season for Michigan, and starting at second base in her first ever game is certainly a good sign as she takes a pitch right at the letters for strike 1. We've seen a pretty spacious strike zone so far from Steve Gold, and the Michigan hitters have to think we'll be ready for that. Liz Hammerschmidt at first and Mike Burwell at third. Those two always names that a lot of Michigan softball fans might have heard before, as they are often on the umpiring. And there's a swing and a ground ball hit to short, 1, and not in time for the double play.
Carson tried to break that one up. She was just a little too slow to get there, but Jimenez able to use her speed and beat that one out.
Yeah, it was a really hard hit ball, too, right at the shortstop, Hess. But it was really the hard hit nature of that ball that created the fielder's choice there.
Yeah, it's in certain cases it's not always best to hit the ball that hard.
Yeah.
A slow roller, she might have been able to beat that one out to avoid the double play entirely.
And now Hoganrod steps to the plate. She takes strike 1. Good job by Emily Buck thus far, mostly getting ahead of these hitters, throwing balls over the plate. Hoganrod, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, and Natalia Rodriguez on deck. Runner on first, 1 out. She swings way out and ahead of that one. Just looking for the fastball and got something off speed there.
Hoganrod on the taller side of Michigan's lineup, coming in at 5'9", seems a lot bigger than the few hitters we've seen before. They're standing about 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah, Hoganrod, bigger frame, hasn't had a ton of power in her Michigan career, but she swings and lines that one into right field for a base hit. A solid single to right field. Now Michigan's got 2 aboard with 1 out, and Rodriguez ready to come up.
Great piece of hitting right there. Got that pitch on the outside corner. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just put her bat on the ball and let the ball do the work.
And so that will bring up Natalia Rodriguez, sure-handed, mostly defensive shortstop. Bunts quite a bit. Not a bunting situation, though, with 2 on and 1 out. She can always try it, but you have to think the slap hitter will be ready to go here. Try to put this in play regardless. Ray and Richardson pulled in at the lines. She does show bunt. Takes a strike on the outside edge. Even if she isn't going to, you can always get in the pitcher's head by showing it.
Yeah, like you said, known to bunt, but did hit over 300 last year, hit just over at 303. She can do some damage at the plate. Going to look to do that here with 1 runner in scoring position.
Lexi Blair on deck, 0-1 coming. And Rodriguez swings and fouls this one off a little out in front of it and yanks it down the third base side. Carol Hutchins yelling a couple things at Rodriguez there on that third base side. Now she turns around and walks over to the Georgia State dugout and chatting up the opponent right now. 0-2 on the way, that one up high Both runners with healthy leads right now, but neither have attempted a double steal. Both have that capability, you'd think. We haven't seen Jimenez really yet, but certainly down the base path she looked fast enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can always test the arm of the catcher. It was Hicks behind the plate. 1-2 on the way. That one way up high as well. Hicks with a very long ponytail coming out of that blue catcher's mask.
Emily Bucks looked a little wild so far, unable to hit her spots, been throwing a lot of stuff high up in the zone.
Yeah. 2-2 coming to Rodriguez. She swings and pops this one up into shallow right field. Backing up is Taylor, and she makes a play, sort of stagger.
Much closer together, that ball kind of in no man's land. You wonder, is it the right fielder's ball coming in? Is the second baseman's ball going back? Ultimately, second baseman calls her off. But still, that one looked a little dangerous.
Yeah, did not seem sure-footed in catching that. Blair at the plate, grounded out to first, unassisted her first time up. She takes that one low and in the dirt. Thais Gonzalez on deck, not really a consistent hitter throughout her Michigan career. You could potentially think that Emily Buck might just try to pitch around Blair to get to Gonzalez. She checks the wristband. Winds up, ready to go. Takes that one for a strike, does Blair. It's a beautiful day here in Tampa. Not nearly as warm as it's been the last couple of years, but it does not feel cold at all. Game time temperature 63 degrees, feels like 61.
Hey, I'll take that over probably 23, feels like
1-1
18
swinging
in Ann Arbor.
Ball that drops into right field. They're going to send the runner home. Throw is off the line, and Jimenez is able to score. Not a hard hit ball, but a single gets it done. Lexi Blair picks up an RBI there. It's 2-0 Michigan. Hogenrod goes first to third. Definitely seemed like Emily Brown would have had a play at the plate, but that throw nowhere close, and Jimenez is able to score.
That's a great piece of hitting by Lexi Blair. Hitting that ball into right field allows Hogenrod to get all the way over to third base. A ball into left, she probably would have gotten held up at second. Run still may have scored, but by putting it in right field allows the runner to advance even more.
Gonzalez now stands in. She shows bunt and knifes at it. It was in the dirt, but it allowed Lexi Blair to get on down to second. So now a Gonzalez single could bring two home. Or no, trying to see. Mike Burwell's been calling something out to home plate umpire Gold. I think they were just questioning whether Gonzalez went around. I thought she did pretty clearly, and Burwell affirms that. So the count is 0-1. Thais takes that one up a little high, 1-1.
Yeah, not really too sure why he's arguing. The scoreboard and the umpire both said one strike from the beginning,
yeah.
So not too sure what he's on about.
1-1 count. Gonzalez with her back foot pretty parallel to the middle of the plate. She takes that one just a tad outside, 2-1. Gonzalez, one of those players that there was a lot of uncertainty about who was going to start in the outfield here to begin the season. A lot of eligible names, but Gonzalez may be the most unlikely of the group, but she did get mentioned at Media Day by Carol Hutchins, and sure enough, here she is starting. 2-1 pitch is a strike at the letters, 2-2. Michigan brought in a couple outfielders as freshmen, Lexi Voss and Audrey LeClaire. There was mention of Morgan Overitis working out in the outfield. This is the second time in 3 years Gonzalez has started the Tampa series in the outfield. Didn't stick her last time. Trying to change that this year. That pitch outside, 3-2 now. Hogenrod at third, Lexi at second. 3-2 count. Lou Allen on deck. Yeah. The pitch, swing and a miss. And Gonzalez is down on strikes. Michigan will strand two, but they notch another run here in the second and go to the third with a 2-0 lead.
Gonzalez was showing bunt every pitch early, and it kind of looked like on that last one she didn't give herself enough time to reset. She looked a little, trying to swing back even while she was bringing the ball or the bunt back. Just looked a little awkward.
A successful inning nonetheless for Michigan. They doubled their lead, and now we'll see who comes back out to pitch for Michigan in the third. It will be Alex Storako.
Storako, yep.
Getting another inning of work. Michigan's infield, 3 of the 4 players wearing yellow visors. Jimenez is not, though. Storako a bow in her braid.
Yeah, Juju's just kind of doing her own thing over there at second base. I said earlier, and I'll say it again now, Juju is easily the coolest nickname on this team, I think.
Yeah, it is a very good nickname. Crowd here in Tampa is about 100% Michigan fans. A few Georgia State fans here and there, but for the most part, it's all maize and blue. It's about, I'd say, about 40% capacity.
Love to see it.
Tomorrow's game, the expectation, as always, will be about 100% capacity. Florida always brings their fans, in Michigan, a lot of snowbirds in Florida. Storako will go back to work here in the top of the third. Once again, you're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. It'll be Paige Taylor to lead things off in that 9-hole for Georgia State. Taylor, Starvo, and Brown. Storako peers in at Taylor, winds up, delivers that first pitch a tad high.
Storako looked like she put a little extra on that one. That's probably the fastest ball we've seen her throw all day.
Yeah, very few stadiums have radar guns. This stadium does. They're showing 65 for that pitch on the scoreboard. There was issues with their radar gun last year, though, so sometimes you never really know. That one also up high, 2-0. Storako doesn't throw as hard as Beaubien does. She throws with more spin. Beaubien often can get into the mid-70s. We've never really had a great accurate reading on Storako's pitches. 2-0 on the way. There's a swing and a miss by Taylor.
Yeah, that one she just blows by Taylor. Right down the middle. Taylor just unable to make contact, though.
2-1, the count. The windup, the pitch, there's a swing and a foul back, 2-2. Georgia State wearing all black uniforms with blue socks. Michigan wearing the all blue uniforms with the yellow piping, blue socks, and then the maize visors for those who are wearing them. 2-2 count. Storako winds up the pitch, swing and a miss. And that is strikeout number 6 now for Alex Storako, 1 out here in the top of the third.
Great pitch there, painting the corners. Tough pitch to hit no matter who you are.
And we'll flip to the top now. And Georgia State will get their second time through the order. Sydney Starvo comes back up. Starvo and then Emily Brown here in this third. Pitch in the dirt. Sun is above our heads right now. It's nestled behind some wispy clouds. Not dark at all, but also not super bright either. The USF Softball Complex. 1-0 on the way, swing and a miss.
Tell you what, though, I'll take 65 with no sun over whatever it is in Ann Arbor right now.
Ann Arbor had gotten about 3 inches of snow the night before we left yesterday. There was bad weather all across the sort of eastern half of the United States yesterday, including the Midwest. There's a pitch high, 2-1. Our flight was quite eventful yesterday.
Yeah, it's never a good sign when the stewardess comes on the overcom and says, "I hope you guys like roller coasters."
2-1 the count. Starvo swings and loops this one into center field. It'll drop in front of Hoganrod for a 1-out single. And Georgia State now with their third base runner of the game. Second hit. Now Emily Brown will come up with a runner on and 1 out.
Michigan going to look to double this one up here, minimize any damage, or at least get that lead runner, keep somebody out of scoring position.
Storako spins the ball in her right hand. Starvo is a slap hitter, you have to think, has the speed to steal if she wants to, and Brown, a slapper as well, fouls that one into the dirt. 0-1. Infield drawn completely in. Only Rodriguez and Jimenez playing behind the bag, and they keep running in when the pitch is thrown.
Yeah, Rodriguez and Jimenez playing back for that double play.
Pitch a little high, 1-1. Illinois State players are out in the outfield behind the fence doing their warm-ups. They will take on Michigan after the conclusion of this game, about 35-ish minutes after this game ends. 1-1 on the way. That pitch a little high, 2-1. And now Taylor Bump's going to go over there and talk to Alex Storako. Storako doesn't want to hear it. Turns around, and Bump recedes to third base. Carson down there behind the plate has a pretty solid arm in case Starvo is off. 2-1 the count. Storako winds up. That one's a called strike.
Nice pitch there. Good to get this count back to even. 3-1 would have been a little dangerous for Storako. Able to close that one.
2-2 the count. Storako peers over at the runner on first. Now Emily Brown stands in the batter's box. And Storako will step off. Carson will go out there and talk to her.
Jimenez and Rodriguez still playing back for that double play. We have a couple more Georgia State fans on our side of the stadium as opposed to the opposite side, which just is entirely Michigan fans.
Yep. And in stadiums where you don't really have assigned seats, traditionally you sit on the side of your dugout. There's a swing and a miss from Emily Brown. And now 2 outs in the inning. Make that 7 strikeouts now for Alex Storako. And Caitlin Ray will come on up. Ray last season was really the only shining star in the batting order for Georgia State. A .305 hitter. Nobody else hit over 300. With a runner on and a chance to try and chip away at this lead. Michigan up 2 right now in the top of the third. She takes strike 1.
Nice pitch there by Storako, painting that inside corner.
Still haven't seen any indication that Starvo is actually going to go. She is in that stance ready, but hasn't gone yet. 0-1 is high, 1-1. Carson jumping up to snare that ball and keep Starvo at first. And now Jimenez comes over a few paces. Storako will step back on. 1-1 count, the windup, the pitch, that one in the dirt. Nice block.
Yeah, great block there by Carson, sliding over into that right-handed batter's box to block that one.
Carson's definitely looked nimble thus far. 2-1 count on Caitlin Ray. Storako's been sitting between 60 and 65 generally on that radar gun. 2-1 coming, that one off speed and low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Storako so far in this game, 2 2/3 innings, no runs allowed, 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. It's been pretty much either a runner gets on or it's a strikeout. Nothing really in between thus far.
Yeah, pretty much. 3-1 count here on Caitlin Ray. She's looking for that fastball down the middle. Hitters count. Going to look to do some damage if she gets it.
Storako winds up, 3-1 coming. She swings and hits this one shallow left field. Backing up Rodriguez. It's going to drop in. Runner headed to third will slide in safely. The runner will now be on the corners. That one was not hard hit, but it found a hole in between Hoganrod and Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the verge of making a highlight reel sort of backwards basket catch, but just couldn't quite grab it. And now runners on the corners.
Very similar to that blooper we saw Michigan hit early last inning, falling right over the second baseman's head. Georgia State able to do it over shortstop, obviously. But just like I said, Caitlin Ray able to take advantage of that fastball down the middle. 3-1, you're pretty much always going to get that. That's the only pitch you really want to swing on in that case.
So Kaylin Hicks now stands in with runners on the corners. Tying runs on in the top of the third. 2-0 Michigan, but Storako trying to dig out of some damage. Hasn't really been hit hard today, but got a little unlucky there, and Hicks way out in front of that one. Storako pulled the string. Ray struck out swinging her first time up.
Hicks didn't really know what she wanted to do with that one. Her feet were kind of sliding all over the place. Just was a lazy swing there.
Hicks started 23 games last season, was a 167 hitter. 0-1 coming, she swings, lines this one to right field, but right at Thais Gonzalez. That's the hardest hit ball of the day, and ironically, it does not get down. Michigan gets out of the inning, and they lead 2-0 to the bottom of the third.
Yeah, it might have had a little bit to do with the fact that that wind is blowing out towards right field.
Yep.
But that was a very hard hit ball from Kaylin Hicks. Nice play there.
Rodriguez is able to get to it in time, or Gonzalez rather, and we will end the top of the third, headed to the bottom half. Georgia State trailing 2-0, and they'll head back out in the field. Carol Hutchins looks like giving some batting tips in a team meeting outside their dugout. Michigan's dugout on the first base side. Georgia State's on the third base side. Michigan is the home team in this game, the USF Rawlings tournament. They dumped Wilson D. Marini, I guess, and now it's the Rawlings tournament.
Brands come and go, but the tournament stays. If you are tuning in, we'd just like to thank you here on WCBN Sports for coming in this early morning game of Michigan softball. Love to have the coverage of this Tampa tournament. A lot of fans out in attendance today. Just want to give a shout out to our fans listening at home.
Well, to begin this bottom of the third, it will be Lou Allen and then Morgan Overitis and Taylor Bump, the meat of the order. Allen and Overitis both doubled back in the first. That was Michigan's first run. Wolverines have notched a single tally in each of their first 2 innings at the plate, but it seemed like Carol Hutchins wants to really break this game open here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Allen, not too good of a hitter last year. Hit .263. Looking to bump that up from last year.
She stands in there and gets ready to go. Right-handed batter against the righty Emily Buck. Buck winds up and delivers a pitch way high. To finish our weather-related story, after the very, very bumpy plane ride, which had to go around a bunch of storms, we landed and went to dinner, and we finished eating dinner, an absolute just monsoon came through the Tampa area. Allen swings, pops this one up. I think it'll stay in play. We'll see if Hicks can find it. She can. Instead, Ray does. That's a foul out for the first out of the inning.
Allen, a little unfortunate there. Just put that one a little too high up in the air, allowing the first baseman and catcher have time to react. Yeah, as you were saying, absolute monsoon outside of Chili's last night.
Yeah, sheets of rain coming down. And we ran to the car, maybe 10-second sprint, as there's a called strike to Overitis, and we got just completely soaked. In about 10 seconds, there were flood warnings all around the Tampa area.
Tornado warnings, flood warnings.
Yep. Buck gets ready to wind up. 0-1 on the way, swinging a ground ball foul off the bat of Overitis. And then we got to the hotel, and the hotel had no power.
The hotel had lost power about 4 minutes before we got there.
And they regained power, I don't remember, maybe 6 in the morning.
I was asleep. I just know I fell asleep with no power and woke up with the lights on. So
0-2 coming to Overitis. She looks at that one, but it's just a little high. A long look from Steve Gold. The Georgia State dugout wanted it, trying to finally get an easier inning for Emily Buck, but good plate discipline there from Overitis. Now, 2 pitchers warming up in the Michigan bullpen. Looks like both Bobby and Dennis down there. 1-2 coming. Overitis leans forward to hit that off-speed pitch, and it will be an easy ground out to first base. Ray taps the bag for the second out.
Yeah, Bo being down there warming up, probably just getting loose for later in the weekend. Probably not going to see her in this game. We're just getting some blood flowing.
So now Taylor Bump to the plate. Finally 2 outs with nobody aboard for Emily Buck, trying to navigate through this order. First pitch to Bump is a called strike. But the interesting thing, despite all that rain that came down, fields look very dry today. No sign of swampiness at all. There's a ball high.
A few minutes ago, they were just watering the baseball field behind us.
Yeah. Bump gets ready to stand in the batter's box. Taylor Bump, a Florida native. She swings and pops this one up. Very similar spot. Oh, and it's dropped out of the glove of the first baseman, Ray. Oh, boy.
That one you got to have.
And that one actually faded back into the field of play, so it is a fair ball, and able to get to first is Bump.
Yeah, like I said, that wind coming into right field, that ball went foul to start, able to inch just back over that line. Bump was pretty much walking to first base at that point. And then as soon as the ball dropped, she quick took those last few steps to get there safely.
Well, that's why every baseball, softball coach talks about running it out. She's able to get aboard now for Hannah Carson. Carson swings and shoots this one right back to the screen. She singled her last time up, and now with the runner on, Michigan given a gift here in this inning, trying to keep it going and get a run on the board.
Yeah, Carson, a .286 hitter last year, looking to do some damage.
0-1 is in the dirt. Bump inching off first base, but she retreats. 1-1 the count on the Michigan catcher, Hannah Carson. Carson looks at her bat. It's a sort of orange and blue color. 1-1 on the way. That one inside, and she ducks out 2-1.
Michigan bench starting to get into it over there.
Two-one coming, called strike on the outer edge from Gold. 2-2. Bump will be going on contact with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, 2 strikes and 2 outs here. Carson going to look to get after anything close to the plate.
Buck with just 1 strikeout today, looking for her second. 2-2 coming. There's a swing and a looper. It will be caught by the shortstop, Daisy Hess, to end the inning. Solid contact from Carson, but it finds a glove, and finally Georgia State holds Michigan off the board in an inning, and we will go to the fourth. 2-0 Wolverines on top.
Yeah, Michigan's first scoreless inning of the game. Tough to see, but still up 2-0, as you said.
No hits, 1 left, and 1 error in that third. Stracco goes out for another inning. You always wonder about these early tournaments where Michigan has been practicing in indoor facilities the entire winter, more or less, than a team like USF, mostly been playing outdoors, as is Florida, and you'd assume Georgia State, coming from Atlanta. There's always that bit of sort of new feeling that you have to work through as the season gets started. And this Michigan team talked quite a bit at Media Day about starting strong. And last season, Michigan did go 4-1 in the Tampa tournament, then stumbled the next couple weekends. And this year, trying to go 5-0 in the Tampa tournament for the first time in years. It's going to require beating Florida tomorrow, but you have to focus at the games here today.
Yeah, exactly. Can't look too far ahead. Got to get the ones in front of you.
We have a commenter. Love listening in again from the snowy Upper Peninsula. Always enjoy Youpers listening to the broadcast, and anybody who is listening wants to throw out any location that they're listening from, we'd be happy to shout out your location as we get ready to go here in the top of the fourth. It'll be Hess, Richardson, and Mosel to start the fourth. Michigan 2 runs on 5 hits. Georgia State no runs on 3 hits. 1 error by the Panthers, none by the Wolverines. Stracco ready to go to work, looking for her first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Hess shows bunt, pulls it back, swings, hits this one deep. That one is back, and it is gone. Daisy Hess on the first pitch of the fourth absolutely cranks it to left center.
Yeah, that ball got out in a hurry. That one was tanked. That one hit the batting net in the batting facility about 50 feet over the wall.
And Hess finally gives Georgia State a run. They were shut out in the game earlier, 5-0 in 7 innings by Fresno State. Held off the board for 3 innings here. Finally, in the 11th inning of their season, they get a runner to come on home. And for Storako, a pitcher who was vulnerable to the long ball last season, that one was smoked.
Yeah, Daisy Hess, the freshman, making an impact early. Like you said, Storako just left that one right down the middle. She's throwing pretty hard, but, the faster that pitcher's throwing, the faster that ball is going to get out. Can't leave anything over the plate.
And so that brings up Richardson. No outs in the inning, and you just have to shake it off if you are Storako. And this is a Georgia State team that really in this game thus far, it's been the freshmen doing work. Emily Buck, a redshirt freshman starting in the circle, has done an okay job. And Daisy Hess, freshman there, hits that one out. So for a team that really struggled last year, they got some new blood doing some work right now. There's a strike,
absolutely.
1-1.
Always looking to see early production out of your freshmen. Production throughout the year would be great, but the earlier the better. Get them into the swing of things.
1-1 the count. Storako winds up, delivers. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2. Dennis still out there warming up. We saw her warming in the second, in the bottom of the third, and she continues in the top of the fourth. 2-1 Michigan.
Another instance there of Storako getting people to chase high in the zone. We've seen that all game long.
The wind up, the 1-2, swing and a pop-up foul. That one will just hit the railing.
Not quite leave the stadium.
Yeah, it's close. Got a couple Illinois State fans now up here on this deck. Donaldson deck at the USF Softball Stadium. Storako checks the wristband. Continues to shake the ball in the right hand. The wind up, the 1-2 coming, swinging a soft pop-up in the infield. Jimenez calls off Rodriguez, and she makes the play.
Nice play there by Jimenez getting over to that ball.
So Bailey Richardson is down. Skylar Mosel comes to the plate. Mosel singled her last time up. Georgia State now with 4 hits in this game, 1 in every inning. The wind up, the pitch, there's a bunt shown, and it's popped up, but goes well foul and off the screen. Allen came charging in. You have to wonder with Lou Allen, and as Hutch herself said it, Lou was never a fast runner to begin with, and then after 2 knee injuries, you wonder how much batters are going to try to bunt in that direction, make her move around at first base.
No, that is a great question.
0-1 coming, swing and a miss. But Lou Allen, for the first time in her Michigan career, made it through the offseason healthy, and already in this game in a double and a run scored. That's something Michigan would love to see more of. 0-2 the count now on Mosel. Storako winds up. The pitch, swing and a miss. Chased it upstairs, and now 2 outs.
There it is again. It's been pretty much a cliche so far in this game. Storako has been able to get Georgia State to chase everything up in the zone. Again, hitting that high outside corner. Georgia State unable to do anything with it.
8 strikeouts now for Alex Storako. And that brings up Sophia Tunnan. Tunnan grounded out to third her first time up. She takes that one a little low and inside.
Storako just missed that inside corner there. Storako starting to pump it up on the radar gun as the innings go on. She hit 66 on that one.
Looks in at Tunnan, the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss. Oh boy, that was not close.
That one was over Tunnan's head. He was tomahawking at that one.
But you can see these Georgia State hitters, they're very clearly aggressive. It paid off for Daisy Hess. But sometimes when you're going to swing for the fences, you're going to have some goofy swings like that one. And she shows bunt, lining up her bat angle, and oh boy.
Again, same exact pitch. Almost a foot over Tunnan's head. I don't know what she's swinging at there.
You got to think Storako's going to go back there after 2 straight swings and misses, especially because you're not risking anything when you're throwing it that far out of the zone.
Exactly, especially since there is a 1-2 count. Storako entirely in control here, can do whatever she wants.
1-2 coming, swing and a miss. That one was more closer to the zone, a little high, but Tunnan just clearly really was never in on that at bat, and she goes down swinging. That's now 9 strikeouts for Storako through 4 innings. She surrenders a homer, but Michigan leads 2-1 to the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, Sirocco went back to inside the zone there, but just blew it by her at 68 miles an hour. Tunnan really had nothing to do there.
We have a bunch more locations. Flint, Michigan, Kalamazoo, Maine, San Jose, California, and Delaware. We just passed the 1 o'clock hour here on Friday for some of those listening to us during lunch hour on the East Coast. Now entering sort of lunch hour in Central Time Zone.
Over in California, it's a little early for them to be listening to some Michigan softball.
Well, never too early. As Team 43 gets their season underway. For Michigan in this inning, it'll be 7-8-9. Jimenez, Hoganrod, and Natalia Rodriguez have not seen any pinch hitters yet and don't think we probably will until Michigan can get a more comfortable lead in this game. They've gotten 5 hits and a runner on through an error, but just 2 runs so far.
Juju looking to do some damage here.
She had a fielder's choice back in the second and scored a run. It was a decently hard hit ball. She looks at the first pitch for a strike. Menace starting at second. The first time somebody other than Faith Canfield has started at second in a while, really since 2016. 0-1 on the way. Jimenez swings and pops this one up. Foul ground. Is there going to be room? Yes, there is. Paige Taylor gets over and makes the play for the first out.
Yeah, Jimenez kind of chased that one up in the zone. Not really able to do too much with it since she was reaching. Pops that one foul.
That'll bring up Haley Hoganrod. Hoganrod takes practice swing and then gets ready to step in there. Hoganrod singled her last time up. Rodriguez on deck. It's a pitch high. 1-0. Seen pretty good stuff from Emily Buck so far. 3 innings, 5 hits, no walks, 2 runs. She's done a respectable job. The 1-0. Hoganrod swings and knifes this one. It will drop in foul ground in between 3 players converging past the first base bag. Now 1-1 the count.
Hoganrod unhappy with her own swing there, taking practice swings as she walks back to grab her bat. One even count here with 1 out.
Hoganrod steps back in. 1-1 on the way. Hoganrod lines this one. It's going to get down in the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Hoganrod headed to second, and she will cruise in with a 1-out double. Off the bat, you thought it could have been a triple, but she hit it so dang hard that it bounced off the wall and went right to the right fielder. Regardless, it'll be a double, and that's now a 2-for-2 day for Haley so far.
Great piece of hitting there by Hoganrod. Got that pitch outside. Michigan has done that all game long so far, just letting the bat do the work. Not looking to do too much. Hit that ball away, hit it right where she needed to, able to get that double.
So runner on second, 1 out in the inning, and Natalia Rodriguez steps up to the plate. The wind up and the pitch a little high. Hoganrod has the speed to steal. Stealing third, of course, always a little bit trickier. She's down in a track stance. 1-0 count on Rodriguez. Rodriguez popped up to second her last time up. The windup, and that one is taken a little inside, 2-0. Buck now falling behind, and that's not something she's done a lot today. No walks. Command's generally been pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great situation here for Rodriguez. 2-0 hitters count. Buck's going to have to come with a fastball to keep herself in this one. Looking to drive it if she gets it.
2-0, Rodriguez shows bunt, lays it down, tried to catch first and third baseman off guard. A couple of Michigan players have now grabbed bats and are taking some practice swings out in the bullpen. The first player is Maddie Uden. Looks like Abby Skvars, the second player out there. Uden, a very surprising not starting today. 2-1 on the way. Rodriguez takes that one down and in, 3-1.
Rodriguez back to a hitter's count here, 3-1. Buck's going to have to come with a fastball, 2-0 and 3-1. Unless you get a fastball, really not looking to swing it all here. Buck's got to come to you.
The 3-1 on the way. Rodriguez swings, pops this one up into shallow left center. Moving back and making the play is Hess, the shortstop. Now 2 outs in the inning. Hoganrod stands on second, but Lexi Blair comes up. She had an RBI single her last time up and an opportunity to do that here.
That's tough there for Rodriguez. She got the fastball she wanted, but just missed it off the end of the bat. Popped that one up.
Blair today 1 for 2, ground out to first and a single. 2-1 Michigan on top. The windup. That one floats way high. Hoganrod was ready to scamper to third if it got over the head of the catcher, Hicks.
Hicks showing off the athleticism there, getting up to snag that one. Lexi Blair here looking to extend Michigan's lead. Been a 2-run lead all game, except last inning got cut down to 1.
And that one, I think, got a piece. Yep, it did. She goes on down to first. So Blair will collect a hit by pitch right there. And now 2 on and 2 outs. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Thais Gonzalez just walked back to the dugout. Yep, and Maddie Uden's going to come in and pinch hit. And Bonnie Thole and Carol Hutchins have walked over to Steve Gold to alert him of this change. Uden had a solid junior season, not as good as her sophomore year, and looking to get back to that. She did not start the fall ball game that I called, and is not starting here, so a senior leader looking to work her way back into the lineup, and a good opportunity here with 2 on and 2 outs. She takes a called strike on the outside edge.
Nice pitch there by Buck, just asserting herself on that outside corner.
0-1 the count. Buck stares into the dugout, puts the ball in the glove. The wind up and the pitch. That one just a little outside. Looked pretty good from our angle.
Uden looked like she wanted that one laid off.
A smart decision in the end. Uden, senior from Glendale, Arizona. For a couple seasons at Michigan, she had her sister Taylor on the Indiana roster. 1-1 in the dirt. Hoganrod way off of second there, and Hicks popped up ready to try and catch her sleeping. But now Buck has fallen behind again.
Nice block there by Hicks. Keeping Michigan to just 1 runner in scoring position, as it would have been opposed to 2.
2-1 pitch, and Uden just taps it back to the screen, 2-2. Buck's command has been good all game until this inning, starting to waver. Fell behind Rodriguez, got bailed out, then hit Blair, and now a 2-2 count on Uden. Pitch count now well into the 60s, but no real sign of fatigue other than the command issue. 2-2. The pitch, swinging a ground ball over to short. Gloved by Hess, throw across the diamond, and Georgia State will get out of the inning.
Georgia State able to minimize damage here. That's the second inning in a row where Michigan has gone scoreless after racking up a run in the first 2.
We will go to the 5th. 2-1 Wolverines on top. They threaten but do not score in that frame. Not a terrible swing, but not able to get a hit regardless. So Storako goes back out for the top of the 5th. Storako so far in this game now, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 run, 9 strikeouts. Faced 17 hitters, 67 pitches in a really comfortable position. Michigan has not been able to get a lead big enough to insert Dennis into this game yet. Illinois State continues to warm up back there beyond left field. More listeners from Illinois, Arkansas, another California, and in Auburn Hills, Michigan. For my third straight year, how was your first taste of Tampa, Ben?
I was going to just get flooded out in a tornado. But since softball started, it's been great.
Stracco steps back on and gets ready to go. Paige Taylor stands in there. In the left-handed, or right-handed batter's box, rather. And the first pitch, she's up there swinging, and she swings and misses. She struck out swinging back in the third to lead things off. She's leading off the fifth here. Just 2 outs recorded in this game, not by the strikeout variety. Stracco winds up that pitch a little high. 1-1 the count. That American flag out in right center, still blowing out towards that direction. No fans seated in right field like you sometimes get. We may see that tomorrow, though. Pitch high, 2-1. Taylor, Starvo, and Brown in this inning. Stracco checks the wristband. The 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1.
Nice block there by Carson. No real reason to block that one other to get your reps.
Yep. Always keep the fundamentals together. Infield playing straight up. Stracco winds up, 3-1 coming is high, and Taylor is aboard. Leadoff runner on here in the fifth. Georgia State trying to get something going here, and it looks like we're going to have a substitution of some kind. Looks like Taylor will be taken out, and we'll have a pinch runner coming in. It's going to be number 44. We don't have a roster on us. They did not print one up. Take a look at the online roster. That would be number 44, Gracie Kittrell. So Kittrell goes down there at first. Georgia State trying to make a play to tie this game up. First pitch to Stavro is a strike. Stracco finds the zone after that shaky walk.
Again, as we saw earlier with the slap hitter, we got the corners up, first and third, playing about as close as they can to home plate. And then Jimenez and Rodriguez playing back for double play depth, looking to turn 2 if they get the chance.
Quick note on the substitutions for Michigan after this pitch. 0-1 fouled way back to the screen on a attempted bunt. 0-2 with Uden pinch hitting for Gonzalez. We have then Overitis moving into right field in place of Gonzalez, and Uden now taking the designated player spot. 0-2 the count. Nobody out in the top of the fifth. 2-1 Michigan on top. An unusually tight game to begin this season.
Stracco looking to do whatever she wants here.
Swing and a
that
miss.
One by.
Yeah. And a quick 3-pitch strikeout. It looks like we might have another change upcoming for this next hitter as Stavro goes down for the first time today. Emily Brown was in the 2 hole, but have to see what the change is going to be.
Yeah, she's taking off the elbow guard. Looks like she's going to take a seat as she's heading back into the dugout.
Caitlin Ray is standing in the on-deck circle. Looks like Mooney is going to come out and pinch hit now for Georgia State with the runner on first and 1 out.
Yeah, still with 1 out here. Probably going to see the corners stay up. Might play back a little bit as Mooney not known to be a slap hitter. But as I said earlier, Jimenez and Rodriguez are going to play back for 2.
Mooney stands in that batter's box. Runner on first. Stracco just collected strikeout number 10, but's got to work through some trouble right here There's a pitch, I guess a little outside. 1-0.
Yeah, breaking ball looked to dip out over that right-hand corner there.
Stracco looks in, winds up. 1-0 on the way, swing and a miss. The throw back by Carson! Oh, just didn't get her. Throw was a little off its location. A really nice throw, and it was in time to potentially pick off the runner on the throwback. But Carson threw it just out of position, and Allen had to do a really long sort of turnaround and tag.
Even if Carson doesn't get the out there, that's something you'd love to see as a Michigan fan. Carson just showing confidence early. That's a tough throw to make no matter who you are. Love to see the confidence.
1-1 coming is a little high, 2-1. Yeah, Kittrell really taking big leads off of first on every pitch. And Carson able to keep the runner honest. 2-1 the count. Stracco 67 miles an hour right there. Ramping herself up. She's at 75 pitches. 2-1 coming. Mooney swings, hits this one softly into center. It's going to drop, and Hoganrod misplays it. Runner headed to third, and he will be sent home. Throw to the plate by Jimenez is in time for the out.
What a throw by Juju from out in center field pretty much. Deep throw. Nice.
Man, what a play. Hoganrod misplayed that ball in center, and they were waving the runner around. The throw was cut off by Jimenez, who then threw it to the plate, and it was in time. Tag applied to the base runner Kittrell's rear as she was sliding in, and that keeps Michigan on top. 2-1, now 2 outs in the inning. Mooney able to get down to second on a base hit there. Goes to second on the throw, and so a runner still in scoring position, but now Jen Brundage is going to come out and talk with Stracco.
Jimenez showing early why she earned that starting spot. What a play from the freshman.
Michigan, yeah, really showing some great defense there. Hoganrod, a little shaky in the outfield, but made up for by the infield.
Team just showing great chemistry all the way around. That's a great relay all around. Again, like we said, even though Carson missed that throw at first, showing the confidence to throw it down. Michigan looking to be firing on all cylinders here.
It is an 8-4-2 putout to nab the runner at home. Now 2 outs in the inning. Stracco's got to get one more out, and that's what Jen Brundage, the pitching coach, is talking about, trying to settle her pitcher down. At Media Day last week, Carol Hutchins voiced some displeasure with her pitching staff, and an up and down start so far from Stracco. Her usual strikeout prowess there, but has run into some problems here in the last couple innings. A run in the fourth and barely avoiding one there. Still not out of the weeds yet. Caitlin Ray at the plate, and there's a pitch a little outside. Ray, the best hitter in this Georgia State lineup. Runner on second, 2 outs in the top of the fifth. 2-1 Michigan on top.
Yeah, the lefty looking to do some damage here with a runner in scoring position. Georgia State down just 1.
These Panthers have been scrappy today. 1-0 coming, swinging a ground ball right to first. Hard hop, hits Lou Allen really close to the face. Might have hit her in the neck, but she's able to knock it down, tap the bag for the out. And Michigan's defense comes up big. They have a 1-run lead, and now need that offense to come through here in the bottom of the fifth, up 2-1. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, absolutely. Offense going to need to pick up some slack here. Michigan's defense has been playing really well so far, but don't want to put all the pressure on your defense. Got to give yourself a little breathing room. Winds seem to be dying down here in Tampa.
Yeah,
the flag has stopped moving.
That flag looks like a corpse, just hanging off the post there. We have some more shout-outs in Ann Arbor, Oak Forest, Illinois, Atlanta, Georgia, Nashville, Tennessee, Owasso, Michigan, Woodlands, Texas, near Houston.
Got some shout-outs to Juju in the comments as well.
So Emily Buck goes back out there to start this bottom of the fifth. It'll be Allen, Overitis, and Bump here in the fifth inning for Michigan. A lot of palm trees in the background behind us around that baseball stadium. There's an event going on here at USF tonight at their basketball stadium, the Youngling Center. The usual parking lot we were not able to park in.
Yeah, it is a beautiful facility out here, though.
Yep.
If you ever have a chance to come down to Tampa, come down for the tournament. Come see Michigan play.
You can go to Busch Gardens, just about a mile away from here. Our hotel right across the street. Lou Allen gets ready to step in as we start the bottom of the fifth. Lou Allen peers over at Carol Hutchins, gets ready to work. Michigan 2 runs on 6 hits. Georgia State 1 run on 5 hits. Allen takes that pitch up high.
Yeah, Emily Buck hasn't missed much today, but when she has, it usually has been high. Hasn't thrown too much in the dirt.
Lou Allen at 5'5", a more compact strike zone, and great plate discipline at that. Takes another pitch high, 2-0. Buck gets ready, winds up, 2-0 coming, is a little inside now, 3-0 on Lou Allen. And that plate discipline is something we have always seen throughout Allen's career, even when the power wasn't there due to injury. Always fundamentally sound in the batter's box, and she's going to just step out, as Michigan players always do. Takes the 3-0 right down the middle, 3-1.
Yeah, she had it on that 2-0 count. Back to the 3-1, looking for the fastball here, looking to drive it.
The windup, 3-1 coming, swing, and a ground ball foul.
Gets her fastball a little ahead of it, though.
Pounds it well down the line. The left fielder, Stavro, goes out there to pick it up. Grace Kittrell has stayed in the game at second base. Now Benson is out in right for Georgia State. 3-2 coming, wind up the pitch way high and outside. Allen goes down to first, and now interesting decision time for Carol Hutchins. Does she make a substitution and have a pinch runner come in? And it does appear that will be the case. Audrey LeClaire, it looks like, is going to be the one to stand in. I haven't seen the full number, but that appears to be her. Yeah, it looks like number 25. Can't really tell from where we are. Yep. So she stands over there at first. Michigan last year had Grace Schelleman as the pinch runner, and Grace has decided to transfer to Marshall University. And so have to find a new pinch runner, and it appears to be LeClaire. Pretty highly touted freshman, though. I have to think she'll be doing more than just pinch running this season, but she stands at first. And there's a pitch taken for a strike by Overitis.
Nice job by Buck there, painting the corner. Overitis decided to lay off that one. Guess it was the wrong decision.
0-1 on the way. There's another called strike. Buck, after falling behind on Allen, really nice job hitting her spots right now.
Yeah, jumping out to that early 0-2 lead, and Emily Buck entirely in control of this at-bat right now, can do what she wants.
The windup, the 0-2, Overitis swings and pokes this one right on the end of the glove of the left fielder. Stavro sized it up, and that one into the corner, about 10 feet in front of the warning track, and it nestles into Stavro's glove. A really hard hit ball from Overitis just doesn't get down. Now 1 out in the inning.
Emily Buck almost made the mistake of going back to that same spot 3 times in a row. A great hitter like Overitis is going to capitalize on that. Very hard hit ball, but just hit it right to the left fielder.
So 1 out in the inning. Taylor Bump now stands in. Michigan, some good swings so far this inning. And Bump swings and misses. LeClaire is off a poor throw from Hicks. No real chance, and LeClaire steals second. It's like a hit and run there.
It's the first steal we've seen so far in this game.
So stolen base puts a runner in scoring position. Michigan looking to bump that lead back up to 2 runs.
Well done.
Puns
well
in honor of our old friend Morris Fabry. Always brought the puns to Michigan softball broadcasts. Taylor Bump stands in the batter's box. Buck looks over to the dugout.
Buck taking her time between pitches here.
0-1 floats high, and LeClaire dancing off that second base bag. Taylor has a lot of power in that bat. We haven't seen a ton of it in her Michigan career, but it's there for the Florida native. Hit a lot of home runs in her career in Florida high school softball. 1-1 swings and grounds this one to short. Gloved throw across the diamond is just in time. Now 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Hannah Carson, who's 1 for 2 today. LeClaire stands down there at second. Have to think anything into the outfield, and Michigan will go back up by 2 runs.
Carson 1 and 2 on the day. Looking to extend that.
She swings and pounds this one right into the glove of the first baseman, Caitlin Ray. Boy, Michigan smoked a couple balls in that inning, and they don't get anything from it.
That's why, as my old high school coach used to say, it's not success isn't always based on your batting average. You could have a great day at the plate and just hit about 5 balls really hard and just hit it right to people. It still makes that pitcher think more than, a little blooper.
And so we stay in a 2-1 game. Storako goes back out there for the top of the 6th. This is a game Michigan really expected they were going to be able to cruise through, but Georgia State has come out and played some really nice softball today.
Absolutely. They got up to that 2-0 lead early, but they've gone scoreless in the past 3 innings. Georgia State able to stick around in this one a little longer than Michigan hoped.
The sun has come back out from behind the clouds.
Sun's come out, winds died down. Turned out to be a pretty good day here in Tampa.
Yep. Carson, last one out of that dugout, has to put all of her gear back on. Georgia State will have Hicks, Hess, and Richardson. If Storako does not give up another hit or walk, this would be the last time she has to face this meat of the order. And Hess, in particular, the one to watch. She is the only big hit of the game for Georgia State, a home run that made it 2-1. That's where the score stands right now as we start the top of the 6th. Michigan will take on Illinois State after this game.
Yeah, I think big hit is a little bit of an understatement. Hess absolutely tanked that ball over the left field fence. It's going to be Kaylin Hicks now, the catcher, stepping up to the plate as Storako sets for the 0-0 pitch.
There's a swing and a miss on a pitch upstairs. Storako's done a lot of damage today. 10 strikeouts through 5 innings for her. Oh, 1 coming, just a little inside, 1-1.
That one looked about as good as it could. Looked to be right down the middle. I guess it was a little inside.
Kaylin Hicks, the catcher, 0 for 2 today. Looks like Chandler Dennis back out there about to start warming up for the 3rd time today. 1-1 off speed, called strike on the outer edge. It's a really nice pitch.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to hit there, no matter who you are. Nice frame as well by Carson.
The pitch is out. The windup, the 1-2, swing and a miss. And down goes Hicks.
Storako blows that one by Hicks, and then Carson blows that throw around by Lou Allen, throws it over her head into right field.
Well, we've seen Carson's arm a little bit today on that throwback especially. She has a really good arm behind the plate. High bar compared to Katie Alexander, of course, but it's looked the part so far. Here's Daisy Hess, and she takes a pitch a little high. Hess hit a no-doubter to left center back in the 4th. Strikeout, swinging, and a home run in this game. Big hitter. And these Georgia State hitters have been aggressive all game long. That's why you have to be careful if you're Storako, not make a mistake. 1-0, swing and a miss, pulled the string.
Yeah, Hess way out in front of that one. Storako able to fool it with the off speed there.
1-1 the count. Bailey Richardson on deck. The windup and the 1-1 pitch high. 2-1. Stracco spins the ball against the right pant leg. The windup, the 2-1, just a tad high, working around the edges right here.
This is a dangerous situation for Stracco right now. 3-1 count is going to have to go right at Hess. As we saw a couple innings ago, Hess, if she gets that fastball, she can do it.
3-1 count, wind up the pitch. Strike!
Hess had dropped her bat and started running to first base.
That one looked
happy with that one.
It looked high from our angle.
Yeah, it did.
And a pretty late call there from Steve Golden. Now the count runs full, 3-2, and have to wonder if Stracco will go to the off speed, try and get a big swing and a miss.
That's got to be sitting in the back of Hess's head right now. Got to swing at anything close.
3-2, swing and a miss, and instead Stracco goes with the gas, powers it by her at 67. And now 2 outs in the inning.
Way to bounce back by Stracco after giving that home run up to Hess last time. Comes by and just asserts her dominance, striking her out. It's going to be Richardson up at the plate now.
Bailey Richardson today 0 for 2. She swings and fouls this one straight back to the screen. Strikeout looking, and a pop out to second today. The number 6 hitter, freshman. Stracco checks the wristband. Dennis still down there throwing. 0-1, swing and a miss. Chased it high. 0-2. Stracco now 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 inning, which would be a big bounce back from the last couple longer, more strenuous innings.
Yeah, fully in control here with an 0-2 count. Deep breath from Stracco. Here comes the pitch.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Richardson. A 1-2-3 inning sits down the order on strikes. 13 Ks now for Alex Stracco through 6 innings of work. 1 run allowed. Now Michigan will look to get some insurance here in the bottom of the 6th as we continue to play here in Tampa. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. A couple more. Cypress, Texas, I-75 southbound, and Northwest Indiana. Would love to hear more about the rule changes and how Michigan has adjusted to them, specifically pitchers and velocity with the 1 foot on rule. Cool to hear from Biggie and her take moving forward. That's from Taylor Uden, who I assume is the Taylor Uden that's the sister of Maddie Uden. As for that one, we'll do our best to answer that, possibly or more probably during next week's media availability. We don't get a ton of access to the players here during the tournament, but we'll work on it for you and certainly ask about it during our next opportunity to talk to Hutch and the team next week. So we get started here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 7, 8, 9. Jimenez, Hoganrod, and Rodriguez.
Jimenez up for her first at-bat since that stellar highlight reel play on the relay, getting the runner at home a few innings ago.
Looking for her first hit as a Michigan Wolverine. And Emily Buck back out there for another inning, 82 pitches through 5. First pitch swinging, it's smoked into the gap in left center field. There's the first college hit for Jimenez.
That's going to be at least 2.
Yep, she'll stop at second with the double, and we saw some harder swings from Michigan in that 5th, and that one an absolute rocket off the bat of Jimenez, and she gets on down with a lead-off double.
Yeah, Jimenez got all of that one, roped it into the left center gap, 1 hopper against the wall. freshman, making an impact early for the Wolverines.
And now you have to wonder how Buck's going to change her approach, because we saw 2 really hard hit balls. Neither of them got down for hits in that 5th. One off the bat of Overitis, another off the bat of Carson. And first pitch in this inning, Jimenez just jumps all over it. Have to wonder how Buck will adjust. Hogenrod stands in there, takes a called strike. Haley's had a very patient approach at the plate today, and it's paid off. 2 for 2, a single and a double.
Nice to have a runner in scoring position with no outs here. Michigan, again, looking to extend that 1-run lead.
0-1 pitch is a strike. Looked like Hogenrod thought it was a little inside.
As you said earlier, Hogenrod at the taller end of Michigan's lineup, sitting at 5'9", does have a bigger strike zone.
0-2 the count. Wind up in the pitch, that one well high.
Good job of Hogenrod laying off that one. Like you said, way high, but that's been a struggle for both teams today, primarily Georgia State. Stepping back into the box now.
The 1-2 coming. She swings and hits this one. It will drop in front of the center fielder. They're going to wave Jimenez around. Nope, they're going to keep her at third. But that ball gets away from Kaylin Hicks, rolls to the backstop. Jimenez will slide in and head it on down to third is Hogenrod. That one's going to be an interesting scoring decision. I think it will be a single, take second on the throw, take third on the error.
Yep.
Jimenez will go from second to third on the single, take home on the error. So I don't think Hogenrod will pick up an RBI, but now it's 3-1 Michigan, and Haley on third with nobody out in this 6th. Michigan looking to give themselves some separation.
That's a fantastic piece of base running there by Jimenez. She was rounding third hard on the hit. Hutch held her up, but kept her eyes up, watched that ball go by, and just took advantage of it right away.
And now we're going to have a conversation in the circle, and it looks like that will be the end of Emily Buck's day. A really valiant effort, but really starting to get hit hard here at the tail end of her outing. And we will have a pitching change. Coming in will be Savannah Freeman, redshirt sophomore from Powder Springs, Georgia. So Buck's day will conclude with 5+ innings. Total up her line here to update my scorebook. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits. Currently on the hook for 3 runs, 2 of them earned, runner on third, which she's responsible for. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. But overall, a really nice day for Buck as a redshirt freshman coming in against a top 20 team in a really tough order, and she did everything she could to give her team a chance today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, holding a top 20 team scoreless for 3 straight innings is impressive, no matter who you are. Looks like we're set to get back into action here.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Natalia Rodriguez. It's going to be Abby Skvars, who was a pinch hitter extraordinaire for Michigan last year, hit over 300 as pretty much only a pinch hitter. And an opportunity to pick up an RBI with the runner on third and nobody out.
Yeah, as a lefty, she's going to be looking to pull the ball here. Even a ground ball in the infield on the right side can get this runner to score.
Yeah, Georgia State is playing the infield in, and Skvars hits this one into left field, a base hit. First pitch swinging, and that'll be an RBI single, 4-1 Michigan.
Doing what she does, coming in, doing her job. Love to see that.
And Michigan now 3 straight hits to start this bottom of the 6th. They lead 4-1 and just 3 outs away from the win in the top of the 7th, starting to really give themselves some breathing room. Lexi Blair going to come in ready to hit, and they're going to reinsert Rodriguez at first. Maddie Uden on deck. And home plate umpire Steve Gold has been notified. Blair get ready to step in. Lexi today 1 for 2, also hit by a pitch. Savannah Freeman gives up a single on her first pitch of the outing, but She's just got to settle in now because the bigger hitters will be coming on up for Michigan. It'll be Blair and then Uden. Lexi takes the first pitch just a tad high, 1-0.
Gonna look to just minimize as much damage as she can.
1-0 is a pitch a little high. 2-0. You referenced your high school baseball career. I never asked you what position did you play.
I was a shortstop, and I pitched a little bit through a knuckleball.
2-0 the count on Lexi Blair. Runner on first. Blair takes that one for a called strike.
Blair being real patient up there.
Yeah, waiting for her pitch. Michigan 4 runs now on 9 hits. Lexi takes that pitch a little down and in, and it'll go to 3-1. 4 runs on 9 hits, 1 run on 5 hits, 2 errors now by the Panthers. And if you're Michigan, if you can get this up to, let's say, maybe a 5 or 6 run lead, you could maybe see Dennis come in, get her an opportunity to close this game out. There's a called strike, 3-2.
Yeah, absolutely. Try and get Dennis some innings. Just try to get anybody some innings, really. These tournaments, as much as you like to win games, a big part of them is getting people going.
3-2 on the way. Blair nubs this one right down the line, and she will be tagged for the out. Runner moves up to second. 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Uden. Productive out.
Yeah, for sure. Lexi a little unhappy with herself there. As such a great hitter, you hate to see, just as yourself, you hate to dribble a ball down the line like that. Looking to make solid contact, unable to do that here. Freeman gains her first out. Still with a runner on second base, though.
First pitch called for a strike on the outer edge. Uden grounded out to short back in the 4th after pinch hitting for Thais Gonzalez. She has stayed in the game as a designated player. Uden in the batter's box. Lou Allen on deck. That pitch high, 1-1. Looks like a couple USF baseball players are starting to do some warm-ups, practice out on that field. Baseball season still a week away. Softball opening day here today, but spring is in the air. 1-1 fouled back onto the roof, the Donaldson deck.
Yeah, it's the best time of the year, Alex. Springtime's coming around. Baseball and softball starting back up.
Uden gets ready to step back in the batter's box and go to work with a 1-2 count. Runner on second, 4-1 Michigan. Wind up, the pitch, swing, and another foul.
Uden didn't have much to do with that pitch, just fouling it away.
Uden stands back in. Freeman's throwing in the mid to high 50s, a little bit lower than Buck was. 1-2, and that one foul tip off the glove and back to the screen. Uden battling here.
Again, nice piece of hitting there by Uden. She saw the pitch, knew she couldn't do much with it, just fouled it off to extend her life up there at the plate. Rodriguez, rather, has been taking some big leads over there on second.
1-2, Uden fouls it back again. Long at bat continues. Rodriguez ready to run. This ball is in the outfield, treading net. Another run on the board for Michigan. Still only 1 out in this bottom of the 6th. Wolverines have put 2 on the board thus far. The wind up, the 1-2, that one high, 2-2.
Uden may be tiring Freeman out a little bit. It's been a lengthy at bat so far.
Got to be close to 8 or 9 pitches. Haven't been keeping track.
Comes the 2-2, this one.
And just off the plate outside. Looked pretty good. Not the best job of framing from Hicks, though.
Yeah, Hicks kind of bailed out on that one.
Yeah, and by bad job of framing, I mean no frame at all. She just jumped right up and threw it back. 3-2 on the way. Uden pounds this one foul.
Uden way out ahead of that one. That ball was on the outside corner of the plate. Still managed to pull it back somehow into the Michigan dugout.
And this at-bat continues. Players in the dugout clapping along. trying to will their senior to a RBI base hit. 3-2 on the way. Uden fouls it back. And this at-bat, in some ways, is a microcosm of Emily Buck's performance of the Michigan hitters against Emily Buck. They stayed persistent and eventually got to her, and here in just this at-bat, Uden staying persistent.
Yeah, absolutely. She's doing her job up there, making Freeman throw.
3-2, she swings, hits this one hard into left field, backing up and making the play is Stavro. And the throw over to third is not in time. Tagging up and moving up is Rodriguez. Another productive out for Michigan. Now Lou Allen, an RBI attempt here with 2 outs.
Great slide there by Rodriguez. Not something you see, or not something you pay much attention to. But that ball was coming in on the back left-hand corner of third base. Rodriguez slid on the inside right corner, sliding away from the tag, making the tag.
And Allen stands in. She takes a strike on the outside edge.
Allen 1 for 2 on the day. Looking for an RBI here.
She swings and hits this one back to the screen. 0-2, Michigan 4, Georgia State 1. Wolverines will go up 3 outs away from the win when this half inning concludes. Oh-2 on the way, high, and Hicks went off the tip of the glove, popped up in the air, and then she caught it as it fell back into the glove.
Lost it for a second there as it went above her head.
Yep, and Rodriguez was ready to go home if it got by her.
Michigan has been very good on the base paths today.
Yep, base paths and defense have been strong. 1-2, Lou pops this one up high into the sky right over our heads. Ooh, it hits the roof.
I would have caught.
1-2 the count. The windup, the pitch, just outside. This Michigan team has seen the plate really well today.
Yeah, absolutely. They adjusted to that big strike zone we saw early. Has done everything they could with it.
The 2-2 swing and a hard hit ball into left field.
Ball
This one's
might be
deep,
gone.
and it is a home run for Lou Allen. A 2-run shot make it 6-1 Michigan, and they have finally blown this game open in the bottom of the 6th.
As we were talking about on East of the Rockies the other day, it's always been a what if with Allen. You know, if she was healthy, all that, and she has been healthy coming into the season, is making an impact already. 2 for 3 on the day with a double and a home run.
2 runs scored and picks up 2 RBIs on that 2-run shot. Michigan 6-1, and it's closing time now here in Tampa. Overitis will come up with 2 outs.
Yeah, just as the home run for Georgia State was a no-doubter that got out quick, that one by Lou Allen, just a long, deep fly ball.
Yeah, didn't get out quite as quick as the Hess home run, but still a really nice shot there from Allen. There's a called strike to Overitis.
That one we should know, opposite field.
0-1 coming, called strike on the edge, 0-2 now. Freeman winds up the pitch, down and away. Michigan now as a team 10 for 28 on the game, 357. Finally had that big inning and put up a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2, just a little high and outside. Overitis, good plate discipline, 1 for 3 on the day, a double and an RBI. Pops up into the netting and then rolls back down where Richardson picks it up. The third base foul ground, throws it over to her pitcher, Freeman.
You can see where that rain might have had an impact on the field. A lot of stuff around the netting. Anything that hits it has just kind of been sticking.
2-2, swinging a pop-up down the left field line, coming over, and it will get out of play, bouncing off pavement and like into the bushes maybe. 2-2.
Stavro was hustling over for that one. She might have gotten there.
Yeah, she definitely had a shot, but it just carried out of play. It was right up against the railing. But again, another long at-bat. Uden battled. Now Overitis battling. She swings, hits this one high into the sky. Shallow left center. Coming over is the center fielder Mosel, and she'll make the play. So finally, Georgia State works out of it. But Michigan puts up that big inning they've been waiting for and now leads 6-1 as we head to the top of the 7th. 3 outs to get for Michigan to close this one out.
Yeah, Michigan looking for 3 and a handshake here. Looks like it's going to be
Storako.
Storako's coming back in the pitch.
I think they might then save Dennis for the second game against Illinois State. The defense heads back out there. Storako coming back out, 13 strikeouts. To see what her career high is. She's definitely a strikeout pitcher, but 13 through 6 is pretty impressive.
Just make it 16. Why not?
Well, she did strike out the side in the 6th, so see if she can keep it rolling. The sophomore, 5'11", from Frankfort, Illinois, pulling up her 2019 game log. Oh, here we go. Season highs, pitching, strikeouts was 15, so if she can strike out the side here, it would be a career high.
2 away to tie, 3 to beat it.
A career high, a game at Michigan State on April the 16th.
Oh, that just makes it even better.
Michigan 6-1 here in the top of the 7th. You're listening to Michigan Softball on WCBN Sports. I'm Alex Strain, joined by Charlie Brigham. We'll have the next game about 30 minutes or so after this one here in Tampa.
Yeah, that strikeout record looking promising, as these last 3 hitters in this lineup have yet to, or only have 1 hit between the 3 of them so far in this game. That one coming from Mosel.
And it's Mosel to start things off. Number 25 singled back in the 2nd. Storako's line for the game, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts. 2 extra base hits out of the 5, 1 double and 1 home run. And now with a 5-run cushion, looks to comfortably put the first game of the season in the books. There's a swing and a miss by Skylar Mosel.
Yeah, nothing fancy about that one. Fastball down the middle, just blew it by her.
Oh, 0-1, wind up, and that one is bunted foul. 0-2, and Storako gave up the hard contact off the home run, was able to shake it off, though, got into a bit of trouble in the 5th, and, I mean, the play of the game still is probably that defensive 8-4-2 putout to save a run that would have tied the game in the 5th. Got hairy there for a minute, but now Michigan in command.
Yeah, it's just great fundamental softball right there.
0-2 is high.
Storako looking to get these Georgia State players to chase. We've seen it all game. Not going to bite on that one, though. Count goes to 1-2.
1-2 the count. The windup. Swing and a miss. There's number 14.
And there it is, that high and outside pitch. Georgia State has been biting on that all game long. Storako's been living up there.
It's now 4 strikeouts in a row.
Sophia Tunnan, number 7 for Georgia State, stepping into the box here.
We've been told it is pronounced Tunyan.
Tunyan?
Tunyan, apparently.
Apologies to that.
We were not given a pronunciation guide. There was no media packet available.
We weren't given anything.
Yeah. One in on the, and you can hear a Tunyan chant from the Georgia State dugout. 1-0 on the way. A called strike, 1-1. 66 right there. Struck was elevated up into the higher 60s.
Yeah, I don't know if that one was a strike, but nice frame there by Carson.
Yeah, her defense has looked really nice today, every aspect. 1-1 right down the pipe for a called strike 1 and 2.
She's just one strike away from tying that career high in strikeouts of 15. Sitting at 14 comfortably now with a 1-2 count.
Puts the ball in the glove, the windup, the 1-2, just inside.
That one looked good.
Held for a long time by Carson, but didn't quite get the call. Now 2-2 the count. Illinois State's been warming up forever down there in the left field area beyond the fence. 2-2, swing and a miss, pulled the string, and that is a tying the career high 15 strikeouts for Alex Storako. And now one more out to get to close this game out, and we'll see if she can rack up number 16 against Kittrell.
2 outs here, one more, and that will be game. First pitch from Storako to Kittrell. That one way low in the dirt. Nice block there by Carson. It's going to be a 1-0 count.
Yeah, Gracie Kittrell is a pinch runner, and she was the player nabbed at the plate in the 5th inning. Pinch ran for Paige Taylor in that inning. 1-0 count. Spins the ball in the right hand, the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss. Chased it upstairs. 1-1 the count. Storako checks the wristband. The ball in the glove, the windup, the 1-1 pitch, fouled back to the screen. 1-2 count, here we go.
1 strike away. We'll say, though, Kittrell got a nice piece of that one. Followed it back hard into the net. 1 strike to go here. Storako sets it a 1-2 count with 2 outs in the top of the 7th.
She's retired 6 in a row, 5 of them on strikes. Has just been cruising here on the late stages of this game. The windup, low 1-2, swing and a foul back.
Kittrell follows another one back in pretty much the exact same spot. This game pretty much all but wrapped up here.
Well, credit to Storako for giving us something to be interested in here in the top of the 7th. 1-2 count. This will be pitch number 104 on her day. The windup and another foul back. Man, Kittrell is just chasing here and just getting a piece of these last couple pitches.
Kittrell doing everything she can to not let Storako get to that 16 strikeout mark.
Stavro on deck if needed. The windup, the 1-2, just outside. Carson held it forever. Off-speed pitch just fluttered on the outside edge at 53 miles an hour. It looked really good, but Steve Gold would not go up with the right hand.
Storako's got 2 more chances of that one. 2-2 count.
The windup, the pitch, off speed again, and just outside again, nibbling at the edges. But credit to Kittrell for laying off here.
You've got to think that Michigan's whole dugout knows that she's sitting 1 strike away from her strikeout record. That's why they're resting on every single pitch.
Yeah, they want this triumphant end to this game. 3-2 the count. Wind up. The pitch, swing and a miss! And Storako an emphatic fist pump as she charges over to high-five Hannah Carson, and the Wolverines have got it done to 6-1.
Great outing by Michigan all the way around. Bats were hot. They looked great defensively. And Storako, absolute dominant day on the mound.
Yeah, Michigan a little groggy to begin with as their season began, but the bats heated up as it went along, and they got a comfortable 6-1 win here today. And Alex Storako, not much more needs to be said. 7 innings, just 1 run allowed. and 16 strikeouts. We will be back in about 30 minutes for the second game between these two. We'll tweet out the broadcast link. As always, it'll be Michigan and Illinois State coming up in just a little bit. But for now, from the USF Softball Complex, final score once again, Michigan 6, Georgia State 1. Thanks for listening. Charlie Brigham, Alex Drain. We'll be back in a little bit.